So in this video, we will talking all about the first part of machining processes. So first is turning. It is a subtractive process that shapes a rotating workpiece by removing a material with a cutting tool. So it is most commonly performed on a lathe. The workpiece rotates while the tool moves linearly, which produce cylindrical shapes, grooves, threads, and contours with high precision. And modern turning is often automated using computer numerical control or CNC systems, using digital instructions to guide the machine's movements and functions. It takes a fairly rigid material such as metal, plastic, stone, or wood and rotates it while carving it with a cutting tool that uses one or two or three axes of motion. So it results in a diameter and depth of remarkable precision. It is possible to perform turning on either the interior or exterior of a cylinder, also known as bearing. So cylinder refers to your piece of material or yeah to create cylindrical parts of different forms. There are mainly two types of turning. So first is manual turning, which is performed by a skilled operator controlling the lathe's movements. The next is the computer numerical control turning or CNC turning, which is a highly automated process where digital code controls the machinery for greater precision, consistency, and efficiency. So the difference between the two is that in manual turning, there is a skilled operator or there is human intervention, while in CNC turning, a machine is used to control the lathe. Next is drilling. So drilling is a fundamental machining process for creating round holes in a workpiece using a rotating cutting tool, which is the drill bit, removing the material in the form of chips as it feeds into the material. So drilling process is essential for functional processes such as enabling assembly with fasteners and structural reasons like creating paths for wiring as well as plumbing. So in the specific outcomes such as a hole, diameter, the depth, and the finish depends on the drill bit's geometry, cutting, cutting speed, feed rate, and the use of various cutting fluids. So there are common types of drilling. So first is the center drilling, which creates a small, precisely located hole to act as a guide for subsequent drilling or machining operations. So center drilling is primarily a pre-production process. And next is counter boring, which is it creates a flat bottom hole to recess the head of a fastener. The next is countersinking, creating a conical recess for a fastener head. So it is different from counter boring, which a flat bottom is used for the fastener head. Then for countersinking, it is conical. Then lastly is the reaming, a finishing process to improve the accuracy and surface smoothness of an existing hole. So you can see the product of the reaming inside the hole. So that is all.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Ria Igaben, reporting the machining processes in milling and drilling. Introduction to machining. Machining is the processes such as milling and drilling are essential in manufacturing technology. They provide precision and efficiency in shaping materials for various industrial application. So, milling and grinding, sila mo take shape sa mga material. Here are some milling processes. First, we have the face milling. This process use a rotating cutter effectively. So, dili ka magamaw hole or magamaw kagbanga. Then, second, we have the peripheral milling. It involves cutting along the workplace surface. So, dili ka ikaw mitigpahami sa kilid. O na mga gamay na mga ganun, hindi ka matingkuha, yung kabisan na lumayo. Then third, inding milling. These techniques utilize sharp tools for precision. Diri nga part, diri ka mag-design sa mga product. Then the next is we have the dimensional accuracy of milling process. We have the 0.001 inch. This precision ensures high quality machining result consistency. Then second, we have the surface finish quality of machine component. We have the 16 rack as motor finish enhances an aesthetic and functional performance. The next, we have the grinding principle. Grinding is a crucial machining process that uses abrasive to shape and finish materials, enhancing precision and achieving desired surface qualities in various manufacturing applications. So, grinding machine siya mo take pahami sa imuhang mga shape nga gigama para tsada ang qualities nga approve sa imuhang product. Then we have the grinding components. We have the three. First, we have the abrasive wheel. It is essential for effective grinding operation in machining. So, during a part sa mga putol sa mga product. Then we have the coolant application, helps to reduce heat and improve tool life. Then the third, we have the machine setup. Proper setup ensures precision and efficiency during grinding. So dili ka mag-control kung unsa nga design o kung unsa ka suga sa imong pagkuan sa mga grinding. Then next, we have the grinding efficiency materials removal rate. We have the 1 CO/min. This rate indicates the high efficiency in material removal during grinding. Then the next is we have the wheel wear during the grinding process, the 0.005 inch/pass. The wear rate shows the durability of the grinding wheel. So we have the advanced milling techniques, exploring high-speed machining. Second, 5-axis milling. Then the third is the adaptive milling technologies. Then also we have the advanced grinding techniques, explore innovative grinding process. First, we have the quick bake. Then second, we have the CBN. Also, the third, we have the electrolytic grinding methods. Also, we have the breakdown for milling process. We have the chart. This chart illustrates the distribution of costs associated with milling process, highlighting key areas such as labor, materials, equipment, and overhead, essential for efficient budget and planning. So, dili mo makita og pila yung nagasto o pila yung nakuha sa mga labor o sa mga material. So, first, we have the two items. We have a 50%. Third, item 3, 20%. Then we have the item 4, 15%. Then item 5, we have 10%, and item 1, we have 5%. Then also we have the grinding cost analysis breakdown. This chart, understanding the cost factors grinding process is crucial for maximizing efficiency. This chart illustrates the various components that contribute to overall grinding expenses in manufacturing technology. So this chart shows how costs we use in grinding process. First, we have the two items. We have the 37.3%. Then item 3, 14.9%. Item 4, we have 11.2%. Also in item 5, we have 7.5%. And in item 6, we have 25.4%. And item 3, we have 3.7%. And that's all. Thank you. Balik na dire. Dapat.
So what is a cutting tool? It is a device in machining to remove a material from a workpiece by shear deformation. Their effectiveness depends on a tool material properties such as hardness, toughness, wear resistance, and hot hardness. So a cutting tool are the heart of machining. These are tools that physically removes materials from a workpiece to create the desired shape, dimension, or surface finish. Without efficient cutting tools, industries like automotive, aerospace, electronics, and even construction would not function properly. Let's say, for example, when Toyota manufactures an engine block, carbide cutting tools are used in CNC machines to shape the metal with high precision. In contrast, when Apple produces smartphones, diamond-coated tools are used to cut and polish glass and aluminum casings. This shows that the choice of cutting tools directly affects the performance, accuracy, and cost of production. For a material to qualify as a cutting tool, it must meet 5 major requirements. One is hardness. It must be harder than the workpiece. For example, a carbide tool is harder than steel so that it can cut through it. Number 2 is wear resistance. It should not dull quickly. This is important in mass production like automotive assembly lines. Next, hardness. It must retain hardness at high temperatures. Machining generates extreme heat, especially in aerospace parts like titanium alloys. Next is toughness. It must resist sudden impact. In industries like oil and gas, drilling tools face unexpected forces that can break weak materials. Economy. It should be cost-effective and readily available. For example, while diamond tools, PCD, polycrystalline diamond, are excellent, they are too expensive for everyday machining in small workshops. In a real-world case, like Boeing company, where titanium alloys are machined for airplane parts, these alloys generate a lot of heat, so conventional high-speed steels, HSS, tools are useless. Instead, carbide and ceramic tools are chosen because of their hot hardness. There are two main types of cutting tools. First is single point cutting tool or single point tools. These have only one cutting edge. A common example is the tool used in lathes to shape shafts or bolts. Next is multi-point tool. These have a multiple cutting edge such as drills, milling, cutters, or grinding wheels. For instance, in the electronic industry, PCB or printed circuit boards, manufacturers uses multi-point diamond-coated micro drills to create thousands of tiny holes for circuit connections. Meanwhile, in construction, single-point cutters are used on lathes to produce reinforcing rods and threaded pipes. Number one is high carbon steels, one of the earliest tool materials. Today, it is mainly used in woodworking, hand tools because it loses hardness at high heat. Next is high-speed steel, as we discussed earlier, or example of earlier. A major improvement of HCS. HSS retains hardness up to around 600 degrees Celsius. It is still used in drills, taps, and milling cutters. For example, small-scale machine shops in Philippines still rely heavily on HSS. Drills, rather, okay. For example, small-scale machine shops in Philippines still rely heavily on HSS drills because they are cheaper and tougher compared to brittle ceramics. Next is cemented carbides. It is made from tungsten carbide WC and cobalt CO as a binder. These tools can handle cutting speeds 2 to 3 times faster than HSS. For example, in the automotive industry, carbide inserts are used in CNC lathes or lathes for high-speed precision machining or crankshafts and gears. First. Made from aluminum oxides, they resist heat extremely well and are used in high-speed finishing or hardened steels. For instance, ceramic tools are used in die and mold industries, where smooth finishing is critical. Cermets, a combination of ceramics and metals, hence the name cermet. They provide excellent wear resistance and are used in finishing applications in automotive sector. Next is CBN, or cubic boron nitride. The second hardest material are after diamond, used for machining hardened steels like transmission gears in electric vehicle. And lastly, this part, PCD or polycrystalline diamond, the hardest cutting tool material ideal for machining non-ferrous metals like aluminum and composites. In the smartphone industries, PCD tools are used to machine the aluminum frames of iPhones and precision parts in medical implants. And tool life. Cutting tools do not last forever because we usually use them. They experience different types of wear, like flank wear, crater wear, and notch wear. Flank wear occurs on the side of the tool due to rubbing. So flank wear is rubbing. Crater wear forms on the tool face due to the friction with the chip. Next is notch wear, appears near the cutting edge due to the hard spots in the material. The lifespan of a tool is often predicted using Taylor's tool life equation. So, cutting tool technology is advancing rapidly. One is coated tools. Tools coated with tin, TIN, titanium nitride, or TIALN. So, titanium aluminum nitride, or DLC, diamond-like carbon, last longer by reducing friction. Next is nanomaterial tools. Tools enhanced with nanotechnology are used in micromachining medical devices like stents and implants. So, in the word nano, small, very small. Next is smart tools with sensors. So modern CNC systems use IoT or Internet of Things enabled tools that monitor temperature, vibration, and wear in real time. This is the part of Industry 4.0. Next is dry machining. Since cutting tools fluids can harm environment, industries environment, industries are shifting to eco-friendly tools that can cut without lubricants. Despite of innovation, industries faces challenges. Number one is sustainability. Cutting fluids harm the environment, and worn-out tools generate waste. Green machining is growing demand. Next is raw material supply. Tungsten and cobalt needed for carbide tools are becoming scarce and expensive due to supply chain issues or automation demands. In robotic, machining tools must last longer since no operator can quickly replace them. Electrical vehicle or shifts to EV electrical vehicle. EV parts are made of lightweight aluminum and hard composites which require advanced tools materials like PCD and CBN. In conclusion, cutting tools and tool materials are used or the unsung heroes of manufacturing technology. From HSS drills in small workshops to diamond-coated cutters in iPhone production lines. From CBN inserts in automotive gear machining to PDC bits in oil drilling. Cutting tools play a vital role in shaping modern industry. Choosing the right cutting tool material directly influences productivity, cost, and quality. As industries move forward into automation and sustainability, the development of smarter, tougher, and eco-friendly cutting tools will continue to shape the future of manufacturing. So that would be all on my part. Thank you.